The United States government's Federal Commission on School Safety has released the final copy of a report on school safety. The report was commissioned to research and recommend solutions to advance the safety of schools in the United States, following a mass shooting at the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School earlier this year. The report itself is broken down into 3 sections: prevent, protect and mitigate, and respond and recover, each of which contains several more focused chapters on individual issues and topics. The entire report can be found here. Video games along with movies, music, television, social media, books, and graphic novels are covered in Chapter 7 of the section on prevention under violent entertainment and rating systems. According to one study cited in the report, roughly 68% of video games depict violence in some way. This is compared to, from the same study, 90% of movies, 60% of TV shows, and 15% of music videos. Children have 24/7 access to multiple forms of entertainment at their fingertips. Reads the chapter's opening paragraph. Their exposure to violent entertainment is of particular concern in television, video games, social media, music, movies, graphic novels, and books. Violent content is ubiquitous across these platforms and continues to grow. The report cites a variety of studies on both sides of the video game violence conversation and digs into the efficiency of rating systems, like the ASAP, a system that the report says has gained high levels of trust among parents. According to a 2016 analysis of the ASAP, 86% of parents are aware of the rating system, while 73% say that they check a game's ASAP rating before purchasing a game for their kids. Still, at the close of the chapter, the Federal Commission on School Safety recommends that all of the self-regulators should review and improve policies to ensure access to content is limited to age-appropriate consumers, while also recommending that educational agencies and school leadership should focus on strengthening internet safety measures at schools. So these personalized videos showcasing the games played and trophies earned by PlayStation users have inadvertently revealed how many people have played each game, thanks to calculations made from trophy stats. It's important to note that this player data is not indicative total sales for any particular game, but it's still pretty notable as this seems to be the first instance of information like this being publicly available. First noticed by Reddit.com, they explain how these videos, dubbed by Sony as My PS4 Life, can provide player statistics, giving what looks like pretty accurate numbers on how many PS4 users are playing a specific game. Gamasutra claims to have calculated the figures from information on the trophies provided in the My PS4 Live videos. The personalized videos tell players the name of the rarest trophy they have earned. In addition to hope, many other players also have the same achievement. By combining these figures with percentages for the trophies provided on the PlayStation website, Gamasutra says they have been able to figure out how many people have at least started playing the games. Here, 764 players earned the Photo Bomber trophy in Fallout 76, the post explains. And on PlayStation, it's revealed that 83% of all players got this trophy. Simple math. The total number of people who have played Fallout 76 on PS4 764 multiplied by 100% 3% 406 795 They also pointed out in the post that while the calculations give a general idea of player numbers, the figures were taken from a specific time window, and will not say much about recently released games. To check out the entire Reddit post, click here. Devolver Digital announced today that former Apple App Store Games business manager Mark Hickey is joining the team to lead the publisher's lineup of mobile projects. As VP of Mobile Publishing, Hickey brings a deep understanding of the trends and strategies within the mobile sector from more than 15 years of mobile games industry experience and working on hundreds of App Store launches. According to Devolver, it's an interesting move for Devolver, the company, whose games mainly come out on PC and console, has released games such as REIGNSANDDOWNWNWELLO and mobile. But the boutique published has had less of a focus on the dominant business model on mobile platforms, free-to-play. Asked if the metrics-driven mass-market pleasing free-to-play model might clash with Devolver's boutique publisher vibe, Hickey said that Devolver is not as focused on implementing new business models as it is on bringing the same unique style and flavor of Devolver games to mobile. Our job is to help developers be successful, and if free-to-play is the way to do that on mobile, then that's what we will do, he said. But we are not going to sell our soul in the process. There are ways to do free-to-play that are both fair and respectful of customers that also allow developers to realize their creative vision. So what led to this new attention to the mobile market? Devolver has already been pretty successful on mobile with games like Done Well, Spaceplane and Rings. Hickey explained. People keep reaching out with mobile game project ideas. I had been working with Devolver for years as part of the App Store team, and I always liked Devolver games on mobile and on PC, so we got to talking and said, hey, what if Devolver pays more attention to mobile and hired someone who's got some experience with this space? Hickey added that in order to increase chances for success in the mobile game market, it's best for a game developer that is competitive. The mobile game space is crowded and there are deeply entrenched companies and studios within many established genres now, be it casual, hyper-casual,
MOBA,
battle royale,
RPG, 4X,
etc. So my advice would be that unless you have a serious war chest to spend on development and user acquisition, those are spaces to stay away from. Instead, I think innovating on gameplay first and fostering a community around your project through the myriad social channels available out there are the ways to generate interest in your game and catch the attention of the platforms. Developers with something interesting to pitch are encouraged to reach out here. Update. Edited for clarity. Gamasutra editor Alex Worrell continues our annual series of year-end roundups by looking back at some of the big events that shook up the game industry in 2018. A lot of long-simmering game industry issues poured over in 2018. As we noted yesterday, while looking back at the trends that defined the games business this year, many longtime studios executed big layoffs, shut down entirely. Unionization in the game industry is a hot topic again, and in 2018 game workers unite coalesced and seemed to focus years of chatter into meaningful statements and action. After years of giving chase, French media giant Vivendi finally gave up on trying to acquire Ubisoft and sold off its entire stake in the company to, among others, Ubisoft, Tencent, and the Ontario Teachers' Pension Plan. Iconoclasts finally came out. 2018 was a long one. Before we put it behind us, Let's think about which bits we will still be talking about in the year ahead. Telltale Games was not the only studio to fall this year, but it was among the biggest and the most beloved, despite clear signs of trouble, including reports of a toxic work environment, a big round of layoffs last year, and a legal fight with ousted Kyokawa Brunner. It was still a shock when Telltale initiated its majority studio closure in September, effectively laying off over 200 people with no warning and no severance. They were not alone, either. Telltale's sudden shuttering happened within days of Capcom Vancouver closing and Big Fish laying off over 100 people, meaning the game industry lost 2 big studios and over 500 jobs in the course of a week. In retrospect, this seems a particularly bad year for mass layoffs in the game industry.